just released a first part of our sustainable development plan, not the smallest part as some of the items are very consistent. But Paris-Beauvais Airport aims at amplifying its investment on these green subjects, as I consider it will be, and it is, a very important subject for the whole industry. The airports, airlines, aircraft manufacturers, and all the partners need to show much more all the efforts that we are all doing and try to defend this mode of transportation, which allows much more for humanity than mass tourism and holidays on beautiful beaches, of course. Here behind me is the fixed electrical ground power, which is the major part of our sustainable program. We just finished the works on that. We have 12 airport stands at the airport of Paris-Beauvais, and we equipped all the 12 stands of the airport. So this gives energy to the aircraft when landing and before taking off. And this replaced the old GPU that we all have in our airports. Here it's the good old GPU, which we are still keeping at the airport, but we won't use it anymore. We replaced all these materials by fixed electrical ground power, which you can see goes to the aircraft from this hole on the ground by a wire with 100% electrical feeds. This, of course, is a big investment, as it costs more than $1 million investment for a small airport. This is one of the only investments that we kept during the crisis. And also, as you can see behind, we started to change all our thermic and gas emission equipment, trucks, tractor from the apron and runway. Now 25% of the equipment are electrical, and the aim is to go through 100% within a few months. This is also an important part of our sustainable plan, which will come in part 2 of the plan. The direct link between the airport and Paris city, run by the airport, run by a fleet of 50 buses. Of course, we will invest a lot of money on this fleet. We had also the change of all air and noise measure systems. It consists of approximately 7 stations in various villages around the airport. This has been changed 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago. And finally, we also subscribed to the first level of the airport carbon accreditation. We subscribe fully in this process, and we hope to go through level 1 very fast and access level 2 in the coming months. First of all, we had the opening of the latest Ryanair base, the only one opened by Ryanair since the beginning of the crisis. Of course, the relation between Paris-Beauvais and Ryanair is very historic, so it was quite logic to get finally the base, and we are very happy about that. We are confident that Ryanair and Wizz Air, our two biggest operator, will lead the recovery in the coming months. They have announced Naples and Sarajevo from Paris-Beauvais Airport this summer. We also announced recently the new airline High Sky, which will operate to Satu Mare, Romania, and Chisinau, Moldova. So it is a very positive sign for us. Our airport continues to be a gateway to Paris for all Eastern and Central Europe countries. Another airline could also announce a new route and a new country from Paris-Beauvais in some days. Quite an important announcement, as it depends on traffic rights and other Parisian airports routes to this country. And finally, we aim at increasing our very, very, very little offer on domestic flights. So we search for domestic destinations like Nice, Marseille, Toulouse, Bordeaux, and more. This is, I think, some of the last French domestic routes to be developed with success and maybe volumes, taking also into account the specificity of the French environmental pressure regarding domestic flights from Paris when competition with the train, which is not our case as a Parisian airport, because we address a big part of the northern catchment area of Paris, which is finally at equidistance from train stations to and Beauvais Airport. sanitary measures are still on, and again for a long time, I believe. So as all the airports, we try to introduce a safe environment for the passenger with mask on in all our facilities. All the equipments that now we are used to have in our daily lives, such as guidelines and points on the floor to canalize and optimize the flows of crossing passenger. Hydroalcoholic gel available everywhere. The cleaning, which is done very often in our facilities. Glass plastic to isolate the staff and passenger at check-in counters. We were also among the first French airport to do the test on arrivals, as serving some red destinations from France. We also try to reduce the physical meetings for the staff, as we are also the handler for the airline operator at the airport. We do all the checks of papers, forms, QR codes, tests for airlines. And this is very difficult for the staff, as different for each countries, as you know. Now we hope that we will be able to be at the end very soon. We can see that people are eager to start to travel again. And for sure, no need to demonstrate that air transport is very key and important for a lot of reasons. VFR, students, to see grandparents, to see kids, but also for the needs of work, of course, as we are fed up with team and breaking video connections. And finally, also for going for tourism, discovering countries, discovering cultures, open your mind, and finally, to be able to breathe. So see you very soon at Connect, one of the greatest events of our industry, and this time physically, truly, and the most important, humanly.